Good morning. Good morning. Welcome and welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, June the 11th, and we are here to look at the new releases that are being set into the wild this week. Every day of the week, we look at a different genre. Yesterday, we looked at cozy mysteries. Today, we're going to be looking at mysteries and thrillers. My brain is thinking already ahead. It was hoping it was Wednesday, but it is not. It is Tuesday, June the 11th. I suppose we will take each day as it comes. Quick announcements. We do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They will go for 2.5 hours. I'll do my very best to get here. We have got road construction at the underpass that gets me from one side of town to this side of town. And they have blocked off a huge area around that. So we're pretty much boxed in. It's hard to I don't think they talk to each other. Anyway, we are here to look at mysteries and thrillers, and there are a few. First up, A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson. A newlywed librarian begins to suspect the man she married might be a murderer. Martha Ratliff conceded long ago that she'd likely spend her life alone. She was fine with it, happy with her solo existence, stimulated by her work as a librarian in Maine. But then she met Alan, a charming and sweet-natured salesman whose job took him on the road for half the year. When he asked her to marry him, she said yes, even though he still felt a little bit like a stranger. A year in, and the marriage was good, except for the strange blood streak on the back of one of his shirts he'd worn to a conference in Denver. Her curiosity turning to suspicion, Martha investigates the cities Alan visited over the past year and uncovers a disturbing pattern: 5 unsolved cases of murdered women. Is she married to a serial killer, or could it merely be a coincidence? Unsure what to think, Martha contacts an old friend from graduate school for advice. Lily Kintner once helped Martha out of a jam with an abusive boyfriend and may have some insight. Intrigued, Lily offers to meet Alan to find out what kind of man he really is. But what Lily uncovers is more perplexing and wicked than they ever could have expected. Well, dang, I was hoping he'd be like the cop chasing a serial killer. That would be a neat twist. Do they listen to me? No. Does anyone listen to me? No. Should they? No. Assassins Anonymous by Rob Hart. In this clever, surprising page turner, the world's most lethal assassin gives up the violent life only to find himself under siege by mysterious assailants. Sounds like John Wick. It's a kill or be killed situation, but the first option is off the table. What's a reformed hitman to do? Sounds very much like John Wick. Mark was the most dangerous killer for hire in the world, but after learning the hard way that his life's work made him more monster than man, he left all of that behind and joined a 12-step group for reformed killers. I'm sure there's a 12-step group for everything. When Mark is viciously attacked by an unknown assailant, he is forced on the run. From New York to Singapore to London, he chases after clues while dodging attacks and trying to solve the puzzle of who's after him, all without killing anyone or getting killed himself. For an assassin, Mark learns nonviolence is a real hassle. John Wick, who decided not to kill. John Wick definitely has a body count. Bodies to Die For by Laurie Brand. Popular fitness influencer Gemma has transformed herself from a before into an actor, complete with washboard abs, thriving business, and gorgeous husband. But social media can be deceiving. Offline, the cutthroat world of bikini bodybuilding may just eat her alive. That's if she's not first devoured by the secret nemesis that lurks beneath her polished surface, waiting to destroy her. Software engineer Ashley is fat and frustrated with failed diets, with a world that wants her to shrink, with biased doctors, online trolls, and even her own mother, until Ashley falls in with a mysterious and radical sect of fat activists who are fighting back by any means necessary. She's never felt so alive, so full of purpose. She'll do whatever it takes to ride this high, destroy diet culture, and win the approval of her charismatic leader. Gemma and Ashley are on a collision course headed for the Olympia, the bodybuilding competition where futures are made and lost. When Gemma's toughest rival turns up dead and more fitness girls fall like dominoes, it's beginning to look like the body image war has gone too far. Interesting concept, I will give it. I don't know if it's like too interesting and then people will not be interested. Good morning, Kim. How are you? How are the puppies? How's your knee? In any order. Hope to Die by Kara Hunter. Sorry, coffee. How does it know it's 6 of 8? Sorry, we have to do a quick investigation. Goodreads is always slow. Okay. Hello, Goodreads. There we go. Let's consult the Oracle. Yep, first published 2022. They tried to bamboozle us. Sorry, I didn't catch it. Lies Make Perfect by Ellie Banks. In a web of lies, one mother fights for the truth. For popular true crime author Margot Box, the past 6 months have been a waking nightmare. Ever since her 5-year-old daughter Poppy vanished, abducted by her own father, Margot has tortured herself the way only a mother could, with unrelenting blame. How could she have let this happen? Had she been working too hard to see the signs? Despite the guilt and unanswered questions, Margot holds on to the hope that Poppy is somehow still alive. Well, her father has her. The odds are better than the alternative. Yet, after years of solving other people's cold cases, her own case proves impenetrable. That is, until she finds a cryptic letter hidden in a secondhand book in her neighborhood library box. In this letter are clues that someone in the community knows something about the disappearance of Margot's school friend Sarah nearly 2 decades ago, the disappearance that drove Margot into true crime and haunts her still. To distract from the pain in her life, Margot throws herself into Sarah's case, desperate for closure of some kind. But as she digs deeper into her friend's history, she unearths a disturbing connection to her daughter she never expected to find. I hope she can pull that off. It seems like a stretch. We are all doing okay, keeping icy hot on my knee. The doggies are outside. Keeping each other company, hopefully. Letting you rest your knee as best as possible. Middle Tide by Sarah Crouch. This is a debut. One peaceful morning in the small Puget Sound town of Point Orchards, the lifeless body of Dr. Aaron Landry is found hanging from a tree on the property of prodigal son and failed writer Elijah Leith. Sheriff Jim Godbout's initial investigation points to an obvious suicide, but upon closer inspection, there seem to be clues of foul play when he discovers that the circumstances of the beautiful doctor's death were ripped straight from the pages of Elijah Leith's own novel. Out of money and motivation, 33-year-old Elijah returns to his empty childhood home to lick the wounds of his futile writing career. Hungry for purpose, he throws himself into restoring the ramshackle cabin his father left behind and rekindling his relationship with Nikita, the extraordinary girl from the nearby reservation whom he betrayed but was never able to forget. As the town of Point Orchards turns against him, Elijah must fight for his innocence against an unexpected foe who is close and cunning enough to flawlessly frame him for murder in this scintillating literary thriller that seeks to uncover a case of love, loss, and revenge. That Night in the Library by Eva Jersic. Trying to read past the blurbiness. On the night before graduation, 7 students gather in the basement of their university's rare books library. They're not allowed in the library after closing time, but it's the perfect place for the ritual they want to perform, one borrowed from the Greeks, said to free those who take part in it from the fear of death. And what better time to seek the wisdom of ancient gods than in the hours before they'll scatter in different directions to start their real lives? But just a few minutes into their celebration, the lights go out and one of them drops dead. As the body count rises with nothing but the books to protect them, the group must figure out how to survive the night while trapped with a murderer. One night locked in the library, what could go wrong? Yeah, don't do it the day before you graduate. The Final Act of Juliet Willoughby by Ellery Lloyd. This is a follow up to a Reese Book Club pick, apparently. Some women won't be painted out of history. Everybody knows that in 1938, runaway heiress artist Juliet Willoughby perished in an accidental studio fire in Paris, alongside her masterpiece Self Portrait as Sphinx. 50 years later, 2 Cambridge art history students are confounded when they stumble across proof that the fire was no accident, but something more sinister. What they uncover threatens the very foundation of Juliet's aristocratic family and revives rumors of the infamous curse that has haunted the Willoughbys for generations. But what does their discovery mean, and how is it connected to a brutal murder in present day Dubai? A tale of love and madness, obsession and revenge. Unravels the riddle posed by a sphinx who refuses to reveal her secrets. Well, these are definitely not cozies. They have very much a darker vibe. The Honeymoon by Shalini Boland. It was the perfect romantic honeymoon until her husband disappeared. It was supposed to be the happiest time of their lives. But for newlywed Stella, the dream honeymoon has turned into a nightmare overnight. Her perfect husband, Austin, has vanished without a trace. Alone in Venice, Stella frantically searches for him, but as fear turns into confusion, she finds herself questioning everything she knows about the man she married. Has Austin really abandoned her, or has someone from his past finally caught up with him? The business partner he threatened to sue? The obsessive ex-girlfriend who refuses to let go? When Stella becomes convinced someone is following her, panic sets in. As hours turn into days and clues start to unravel dark secrets, a terrified Stella can't help but ask herself, is her husband who she thought he was at all? No, no, honey. They never are. Oh, Frida McFadden has a new one in the Housemaid series. You must be our new neighbors, Mrs. Lowell gushes and waves across the picket fence. I clutch my daughter's hand and smile back, but the second Mrs. Lowell sees my husband, a strange expression when? About when? My A strange expression crosses her face. In that moment, I make a promise. We finally have a family home. My past is far, far behind us, and I'll do anything to keep it that way. I used to clean other people's houses. Now I can't believe this home is actually mine. The charming kitchen, the quiet cul-de-sac, the huge yard where my kids can play. My husband and I saved for years to give our children the life they deserve. Even though I'm wary of our new neighbor, Mrs. Lowell, when she invites us over for dinner, it's our chance to make friends. Her maid opens the door wearing a white apron, her hair in a tight bun. I know exactly what it's like to be in her shoes, but her cold stare gives me chills. The Lowell's maid isn't the only strange thing on our street. I'm sure I see a shadowy figure watching us. My husband leaves the house late at night, and when I meet a woman who lives across the way, her words chill me to the bone. Be careful of your neighbors. Did I make a terrible mistake moving my family here? Probably. I thought I'd left my darkest secrets behind, but could this quiet suburban street be the most dangerous place of all? Yeah, yes, I think so. The Hungry Bones, fifth in the Alexa Glock Forensic Mysteries. I do like a good forensic. Emphasis on good. This is by Sarah E. Johnson. Alexa Glock is at a crossroads, personally and professionally. Now that D.I. Bruce Horn, who said he loved her, won't deny he cheated on his ex-wife, how can Alexa trust he won't cheat on her? She and her abandonment issues need some space, so she throws her hat in the ring for a position far from New Zealand, Abertay University in Scotland. I'm sure I said that wrong. Her professional crush, Dr. Ben Oden, is interested in her expertise in teeth. If he makes an offer, will Alexa bite? Meanwhile, a human skeleton has been exhumed in a quaint former gold rush town in New Zealand. A benefactor believes that the bones are that of a Chinese gold miner, and she wants to repatriate the hungry ghost of her ancestor to China. Alexa is called in to examine the teeth and the secrets they contain. She didn't expect to discover a hole in the skull. When another skeleton is unearthed nearby and also shows evidence of a violent death, Alexa heads to the police station to open a cold case. Then the town's beloved school principal goes missing. Alexa is quickly recruited to assist with the search, and as she digs into both cases, the secret she uncovers makes her dangerously unpopular with those who want to keep the past buried, and perhaps Alexa along with it. I said I like forensics, but teeth. That's just not me. That's combining dentists and creepy. Sorry, I'm out. I'm sure they will be wandering to the back door soon. Probably going, hey, second mom, what you doing? The Murder After the Night Before by Katie Brent. With exclamation points and everything. Something bad happened last night. My best friend Posey is dead. The police think it was a tragic accident. I know she was murdered. I've woken up with the hangover from hell, a stranger in my bed, and I've gone viral for the worst reasons. There's only one thing stopping me from dying of shame. I need to find a killer. But after last night, I can't remember a thing. And that's it. Lots and lots and lots of blurbs. The Paris Widow by Kimberly Bell. Nice thing about all these thrillers is that they're standalones. If you wanted to jump in. A dream vacation turns deadly when secrets from the past catch up to a married couple in Paris. When Stella met Adam, she thought she had finally found a nice, normal guy, a welcome change from her previous boyfriend and her precarious jet setter lifestyle with him. But her secure world comes crashing down when Adam goes missing after an explosion in the city square. Unable to reach him, she panics. As the French police investigate, it's revealed that Adam was on their radar as a dealer of rare and stolen antiquities with a long roster of criminal clients. Reeling from this news, Stella is determined not to leave Paris until she has the full story. Was Adam a random victim or the target of of the explosion? And why is someone following her through the streets of Paris? It's your ex-boyfriend who cares about you and trying to keep you safe. An irresistible, fast-paced read set in some of Europe's most inviting locales. Blah blah blah. I apologize, I didn't click on that. This was the book we were talking about. Give it a minute. Moving on. And the last one we have for today. Whoops. Maybe. All right. What Fire Brings by Rachel Housel Hall. A writer's search for her missing friend becomes a real-life thriller. Bailey Meadows has just moved into the remote Topanga Canyon home of thriller author Jack Beckham. As his writer in residence, she's supposed to help him once again reach the bestseller list. But she's not there to write a thriller. She's there to find Sam Morris, a community leader dedicated to finding missing people who has disappeared in the canyon surrounding Beckham's property. The missing woman was last seen in the drought-stricken forest known for wildfires and mountain lions. Each new day, Bailey learns just how dangerous these canyons are for the other women who have also gone missing here and for her. Could these missing women be linked to strange events that occurred decades ago at the Beckham estate? Probably. As fire season in the canyons approaches, Bailey must race to unravel the truth from fiction before she becomes the next woman lost in the forest. ... And that's all we have. Just in time. Look at that. All righty. Well, let's see. Let's close that tab. Let's close that one. That one. Okay. Well, one of those was kind of interesting to me. The first one, the Peter Swanson, I might check out a little bit more. Hope you guys have a good Tuesday. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching later, thank you very much for watching later. Kim says, have a great day. You too. You too, my friend. Yes, we do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They'll go for 2.5 hours. I do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's new releases, we'll be looking at romance. Wednesdays are romance books. And then on Thursday will be the fantasy and science fiction. So I hope you have a very good day. I hope you're reading good books. Remember, if you are reading a book that you're not enjoying, it's okay to set it aside. It's just on pause. It's not a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of the author or the book. It's just not the right time for those three things to come together. It's okay. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.